5 years ago, I gave my first Christmas address as mayor and laid out an ambitious vision for our community based on the pillars of community safety and wellness, jobs and economic development, parks, recreation, and culture, and a strong, responsive team at City Hall. This is my final Christmas address, so I want to revisit that vision today and share my Christmas wish list for the next year and beyond. Wish number 1, that we believe in ourselves. Many years ago, when I was a second-year student at university, I found myself at a low and dark point in my life. My car sat broken down on the side of the street. I was a student at Quampton College, which was then nothing but an assemblage of leaky portables assembled in a parking lot. I was flat broke, and home was a place of chaos. One day I was particularly miserable. Standing at a bus stop with my breath freezing in front of me, I noticed something seemingly trivial, a tiny screw in a bus stop sign. It was unusual, designed so that only a special tool could remove it, ensuring the sign couldn't be stolen. To anybody else, that screw would have been invisible, but reflecting on it changed my life. I thought about how many of those screws were distributed across Surrey, the province, and the country. I thought about the idea that whoever sold those screws had viewed a problem as an opportunity, then went on to create their own market. I thought about the passion, boldness, and vision it must have taken to build a business from such a tiny thing. I thought about how the owner of that idea must have believed profoundly in him or herself. That little screw taught me to lean into my problems, to see the world differently, and to believe in my abilities. I went home and looked at my car again and figured out how to fix it with my brother's help. And instead of $1,000, we fixed it for $8. Now back on the road, I began working at 4 different locations and studying at 2 colleges. I got elected to student council. I made new friends. My marks soared, and I earned a scholarship to UVic. It became the best and most memorable year of my education. We can all learn from that little piece of hardware. If we're to succeed, we need to lean into our challenges and believe in our strengths, even if others view those assets as meager or tiny. That screw had integrity, internal strength, based on its design and its material, but it only became a business when the human ingredients were added. Our future demands the same things: confidence, passion, resolve. Wish number 2, that we start using systems thinking to accelerate our plans. The city has many plans. They're grounded in clear thinking, evidence, and expertise, and more are coming. But plans alone are not compelling. They are screws waiting to be driven, to be built into something greater. This year, we approved our new official community plan. It's a landmark document that focuses on livable and complete neighborhoods, mixed use, affordable housing, economic growth, environmental and heritage preservation. It called for a long-needed rural mission strategy to preserve the rural parts of our community, and Council has already approved that strategy just 2 weeks ago. The OCP also calls for the creation of a health and wellness district in the area surrounding Mission Memorial Hospital, with an array of housing, clinical spaces, supporting amenities, and businesses to make Mission a magnet for healthcare providers and to catalyze investment from the province, Fraser Health, and the private sector. And planning for the low-heat highway corridor is also underway, designed to consider how to maximize commercial and mixed-use potential between Nelson and Stave Lake Streets. But I think we've all got sick of talking about plans. We're all ready for meaningful action. So why do things seem to take so long? I'd like to ask you to help me do a small experiment. It's going to require a tiny bit of trust here. Please make sure you have a little bit of room between you and the people next to you. Now close your eyes for a moment and silently point where you think north is. Close your eyes. Now keep your hands there. Open your eyes and take a look around. North is there. Oh. I checked. Too often, we assume that others are in the same place as us and that they want to get to the same destination. But when you do my job, you soon realize that isn't so. I constantly see interest groups that aren't communicating, and when they advocate their conflicting visions to City Hall, progress gets lost in a fog. Want another disc golf course? You have to talk to people who don't disc golf. You make sure you talk with the people who want new bike trails and new turf fields. Want parking improvements? Don't forget to include the businesses and the residents. When community groups unwittingly compete against one another, the result is usually a stalemate. We must be willing to let others into our tent, to share and to take turns. We need a common understanding of our problems. Most of you in this room are actively involved in community initiatives outside of the chamber or your business. So think about how you can work to bring those elements to your work. Make your circle bigger. Wish number 3, please. That we find our North Star. 1,000 years ago, the Vikings rowed their way across the North Atlantic to what is now Newfoundland. Imagine that you're boarding a Viking ship to undertake that journey. You'll need to know your direction and your leader. But who is the leader on that vessel? Is it the steersman who chooses the route? The lookout who stands in the bow to watch for land? The oarsmen who row the boat in long shifts? The drummer who beats a rhythm by which to row? Of course, the answer is that every one of them is vital. If any single person doesn't understand that, then the vessel is sure to sail off course, and that person has become the de facto leader. Every plan we have requires our community to pull together as one, but that takes a clear vision. We need a North Star, and for this council, that North Star has been the waterfront. It is Missions Expo 86, our 2010 Olympics, our Whistler Village, our Lonsdale Quay. And we must possess the work ethic, patience, and discipline to achieve it. Figuratively speaking, Mission is halfway across the Atlantic. If it keeps raining like this, that won't be big enough. The journey backwards would be just as hard as the journey to a newfound land. And sitting back would be the most dangerous choice we could make. If we falter and each start rowing to our own rhythm, we'll simply lead each other in circles. Wish number 4. That we ignore the no-nos. That's the term John Cotter uses in his books about change. The ever-present forces that just don't want to change. There are those who will tell you that we're not good enough and that we have not accomplished anything of note, but the evidence is clear. We have made great strides. In 2025, we achieved more than 150% of our housing targets. I received a call the other day from the Minister of Housing expecting her to pressure us. She was calling to congratulate us for being a leader in developing housing as quickly as we have. We expected to build 211 homes and ended up creating 314 last year. We initiated a fast-track program and dramatically improved our planning and permit processing. We also achieved more than 250% of our job targets. We intended to add 173 jobs in our term. We are 3 years in. We've already added 444, with more expected in the coming year. Go ahead, yeah. And we've attracted some very prominent businesses such as River Valley Ford, Ocean Trailer, Silver Hills Bakery, Pan Pacific Pet Company, which is building 150,000 square feet of commercial warehouse, 90,000 of it, refrigeration and freezer, down in our industrial park. And Kermac Collision. The Cave Bar Industrial Park has been a standout success. Building B is almost completely sold out, with 17 of 18 units coming online early next year. And the most exciting, a prominent manufacturing company is in due diligence on Building A. They currently employ 120 people, and they want to double their staff. that would be one of the largest employers in Mission's entire population when they come here. 2 mixed-use developments have been green-lighted in Cedar Valley, something we hear about from people in that area all the time, so there will be more retail options in that neighborhood. And Kaleidoscope Child Care Center, a partnership between the city, MACO, Fraser Valley Child Development Center, and the province was recently completed there as well, bringing 67 inclusive spaces and therapeutic resources for kids with diverse needs. As Councillor Pleckus always says, we need those shovels in the ground. Transit's also expanding here. Well, maybe not here. That's what I mean. With more than 500 hours of service to be added in Hatzick and 4,300 hours to be added on a new Cherry Street route. And we've enhanced active transportation with multi-use pass along 14th Avenue, and the segment between Tanager and Grand will be completed to connect them all in 2026. In 2022, we had a 62% approval rate for our parks and recreation amenities. That wasn't good enough. We aim to bring that up by 20% to 74.4%. We've listened to the public and user groups, and now, with still a year left, we're at 81% approval. And moving ahead with initiatives that will lead to better facilities, more events, and better service. Our recently approved Parks, Recreation, and Culture Master Plan will modernize our operations, and it includes a bold vision for an activity hub, which includes our entire leisure center and Centennial Park neighborhood. Thanks greatly to Councillor Hamilton's vision. Please give her a round of applause for that. Centennial Park will soon include a covered lacrosse box, an expanded Christmas plaza, and a Japanese tea house, amongst other new features. And ground will soon be broken for the Emery Street Spray Park in Cedar Valley in 2026, thanks to strong advocacy from Councillors Elias and Gill. Please give them a round of applause. Working in partnership with BC Hydro, enhancements at Hayward and Stave Lakes, including restoring the circular trail and improving the boat launch, now allow residents to enjoy those natural spaces more safely. And I can tell you, it was a real team effort to advocate, because the first time we walked into a room with BC Hydro, we were shut down. But it has been a long road and a great deal of bridge building. And literally, the last stage of it is that finally the Hairsine Inlet Bridge has been completed this fall, so you can now hike all the way across the lake. Significant investments have also been made in the Clark Theatre, and our social and cultural events have flourished with performances there and outdoors, including Canada Day, and you just witnessed it, an ever-improving candlelight parade, a new tradition of Christmas tree lighting that Gwen spoke of, and Holiday Magic coming up this weekend for free. Go and enjoy all kinds of events at the Leisure Centre, just to name a few of our new events and traditions. We are proving that Mission can create complete communities, so don't believe those who underestimate us. Wish number 5, that we stay in the room with Fraser Health. We're making healthcare headway as well. Healthcare remains a top priority, and by partnering with Fraser Health, MAP, and others, we have successfully advocated for a 240% expansion in emergency room beds, from 17 to 41 beds. A new CT scanner, 12 community complex care beds near the hospital, and an urgent care center. And in November, Fraser Health announced an expansion of urgent care hours, nearly doubling the hours available. Perhaps the most exciting bit of news is the Homes for Health project. That initiative is a partnership between the city via Bridgehead, our development corporation, and the Division of Family Practice and other partners. The project will bring healthcare worker housing into the Mission Memorial neighborhood, ensuring that we have a place for new doctors to settle and helping to attract them, and accommodating relief doctors called in to keep our ER open. And we're exploring including clinical spaces to enhance healthcare services. That initiative has received provincial attention, and again, we received a call from the Minister of Health thanking us for our leadership in that work. Can you please give Bridgehead a round of applause for the Minister of Health? And after 2 unsuccessful applications for a youth foundry, we funded our own youth hub to provide therapeutic drop-in services for young people. That work is happening right now. These projects have created bridges between the Ministry of Health, Fraser Health, the Fraser Valley Regional Hospital District, and other vital partners. After many years of anger, we're seeing the benefits of working together to construct a healthier community. We still have work to do, but if we go back to protesting, the work will slow again. Remember, protesters stand outside. Partners have a voice at the table. Wish number 6, that we keep learning. Council recently undertook an efficiency review, and I think it was one of the most productive and insightful pieces of work the city has done in recent memory. Our staff are already underway actioning the recommendations to ensure that our organization is efficient, that it's structured for a rapidly growing community, and that we're clear on the roles of council versus staff. Not just council and staff are clear in that the community is clear on those differences. Given the amount of change we're experiencing, I believe it's a process that our city should continue to do at regular intervals. We have more to learn, but we are proud to be a community that dives in and learns as we go. We must continue to address social challenges in our community. In fact, as other communities close down encampments, we're seeing an increase in unhoused people, poverty, and disruptive behavior in the city. For many of the businesses in the room, that is literally something that has landed on your front doorstep. While we've seen a decrease in overdose deaths, the fentanyl crisis is still taking lives. To address these issues, we know that it will take more than policing. So we're implementing a coordinated effort of enforcement, outreach, social, and health supports. Heritage and community identity remain very important to all of us, so we continue to support the Mission District Historical Society in preserving historic sites, artifacts, local traditions. We've been blessed by the dedicated service of Val Bilsberg, the community archive leader, but her impending retirement has shown us just how far behind we've fallen in funding this important work, and we'll need to catch up. We also recognize the need for more and better arts and culture spaces. The Welton Common Building was meant to be such a facility, adjoining a civic square where there's a parking lot. But that vision seems to have faded in the last 12 years. And now, local groups, art groups, are struggling. They need a space where they can do their magic and at the exact same time, breathe energy into our commercial core. Protective services have also evolved, which is a fancy way of saying gotten more expensive. So while we've seen an overall 22.4% decrease in crime severity here, many people still feel unsafe on our streets, and we hear that. Investing in RCMP and fire are major undertakings and must be balanced with sustainable fiscal planning. We are committed to evidence-based budgeting while also recognizing the long-term cost of underinvestment. Most people don't know that Mission has the 5th lowest taxes per average home in the Lower Mainland. In some cases, that's because failing to routinely invest in safety and infrastructure has kept the number artificially low. That creates challenges during budget sessions where every decision looks like a choice between critical services and jarring tax impacts. Wish number 7, that we create more juicy work. In my business, I work to help organizations perform to their highest potential. I often find that organizations lack a strong understanding of what makes people want to stay and perform. It has little to do with awards, seniority, financial incentives. It's juicy work that makes sticky people. It's about empowering those who are willing to lead, your eagles, and not accidentally rewarding complacence and resistance to change. Most people will bring their entire selves to work when they can see that they're having a meaningful role in tackling big problems and when they get to participate in innovation. We see it all the time. Our staff will practically kill themselves working extra hours to help other people. That's what gets people motivated, making a difference. And Mission has embraced this ethos. Our city was once a flow-through where we invested in developing staff only to lose them to neighboring communities. But we've created a culture that attracts and retains the very best of people. We've asked our staff to be honest about their capacity, to take an active role in providing for their wellness. We're upskilling our team in areas such as planning, communications, and performance management. And it shows in work they do, like our recent Builders Forum, staff fair, fire safety fair, and public works workshop. These events help the community learn about their city and how it works, and they allow our staff to showcase the incredible work they do. We have a few of them here today, and they are extremely dedicated people. Would you please give them a round of applause? We're building a culture where it pays to be forward-thinking and responsive, and where negativity and stagnation are not welcome. That has resulted in a huge leap forward in our employee satisfaction. In 2022, our baseline Net Promoter Score was plus 15, and Council's goal was to achieve an increase of 3 by the end of our term. But today, I'm grateful to all of our internal Eagles for soaring well beyond that number, reaching a score of plus 25 and making Mission a very attractive place to work. Yeah, absolutely. Wish number 8, that we focus on integrity over popularity. In management, there's a maxim that leadership is at odds with popularity. That's something our community needs to embrace. Bravery, honesty, selflessness. These are the hallmark of leaders. We need to value them more. There are plenty of doubters out there, and they want you to believe that we cannot do great things. They would like you to forget that boldness and innovation are bred in our very bones. They are in our 67-year-old tree farm, and at our 52-year-old Welton Towers, and now they're at the JK Tower, the name given to the building, the only building in Mission taller than the Welton Towers. I'm proud to report that after considerable advocacy, Council was successful in convincing BC Housing to purchase that building in partnership with a new helping agency to our community, More Than a Roof Society. They said we couldn't make that happen. They explicitly told us they couldn't make that happen, but we were not willing to lose such a vital opportunity. That's 92 units. That will splash somebody before we're done here. It's a guarantee. In the coming years, we will have many other opportunities come our way. Every single one of them will involve risk and change. Risk and change are challenges, but they're also opportunities for growth. Avoiding risk and change may be a popular choice, but it's a deception. In truth, the world changes no matter what we choose. So we must be honest to our neighbors about the need to evolve. We need to let people know that we're prepared for risks in this community, and we're capable of adapting when things don't go as expected. By the way, we need to remember, things never go as expected. Wish number 9, a return to trust. We're at an all-time low in one of our most valuable commodities, trust. It's a global problem that's poisoning our town. When trust dies, hope soon follows. There are people in this community who want you to believe that Council is secretly working to hurt you. And that is weighing very, very heavily on our shoulders. Let me tell you a second story. In March 2024, Mission received an international award for its waterfront revitalization plan. And it came with a chance to present our project at the world's largest real estate conference, where Mission would have a unique spotlight. I chose to attend even though I knew some here would see it as selfish. What they didn't know was that I went even though my mother was in hospital. I left her in my family's care and flew to France, choosing to be there for my community, hoping and praying I wasn't giving up too much. While we were there, we worked intensely, meeting with global real estate firms and investors. But while I was away, my mother declined sharply. I left early, traveling for 36 hours, and when I landed, I received a text from my sister telling me I was too late. You can disagree with me attending a conference. Criticism's part of life, public life especially. I can accept it. I even laugh along with the satire. But what hasn't been funny is having people call us evil or posting that council should be lynched. Some people have dragged in our employers and co-workers, attacked businesses and community volunteers, many of you in this room, targeted our families, spread misinformation, filed specious court actions. I don't know what they hope to accomplish by spreading hatred, ugliness, distrust. I do know it hurts every single person in this room and in this community. It's not about me. It's about the way this behavior affects our future leadership. There's a saying that people get the leaders they deserve. In recent months, I've spoken with many people who I think would make strong candidates, and they've all said to me they won't put their families or their health through this. I understand you cannot know the sacrifice this job requires until you have it. I'm asking you, as neighbors, to speak up when you see this conduct. It's not entertainment to sit on a local Facebook page and watch businesses, citizens, and elected officials be torn apart. When you see it, challenge it. Ask yourself whether that platform deserves your attention. Without an audience, there could be no blood sport. I'm proud to serve with my colleagues. As Councillor Davies wisely says, we work hard to bring bleach and sunlight to all we do. Every day I hear my colleagues push for clear communication, plain language, and transparency. We care. And when people ask questions rather than making accusations, we make sure they get accurate answers. And in almost every case, those answers restore their trust. So I invite you to start with a question. It's Christmas, the darkest part of the year. But Mission has a tradition of finding our light in each other. We've proven that we can achieve remarkable things when we work as a community. From our very beginnings, we've seen what's possible when we lean into our ideas with boldness, partnership, and trust. These are our superpowers, so let's celebrate our community's achievements and from them be inspired to tackle our shared wishes together. I do have one more wish, and that wish is that this year, when there's so much hardship in our community, that you find a way to give a little extra. It may not be money. You may be experiencing hardship yourself. It may be welcoming somebody to your table. It may be a few hours of donating your time or giving something that in your closet you don't wear, but somebody else might get them through the winter. This is my annual Christmas quiz. If you haven't done it, most people have not been able to beat it this year, so I challenge you to do it. And here's the way it works. If you get 5 or better, I will give $5 to charity. If you get less than 5, for everyone you get wrong, you make a commitment to give $1 to a charity in our community. It's my way of trying to be still a teacher and at the same time help some local agencies in our community And I'm very proud to say there are many of them. Please think of the one that you think is doing the best work and most important work, and give generously this year. Mission, I truly love you. It's been my honor to do this last 5 years. Please go out there and keep being the mission I grew up in. Thank you very much.